This is my Chrome extension that I've built over the last 3 months, and where coding was actually only 20% of the whole process. How I did it, why the Chrome extension, and which mistakes I will avoid in the future. Here you can see the extension, just a small extension for the LinkedIn for formatting the text. I was just using LinkedIn myself and using some third-party website to format the text. This is how I came up with my idea. How you can come up with your idea for extension. You can just open the browsing history, get the list of the deduplicated websites that you're visiting like over the past 3 months, and think like what you're doing on those websites. And maybe you will come up with several ideas on which tools you would benefit from, and this will give you some ideas. So when you got your idea, what you want to do is you want to find a really successful competitor. So for me, it was this one, which is closer to my use case, and another extension, which is far more popular. However, it's only a gateway to their complete SaaS product. So you really want a competitor. If there is no competitor, it means one of several things. Either there is some legal trouble, for example, YouTube downloader. There is no demand, no product market fit, or it's just not suitable for extension format. You want to go through them, you want to obviously install them, use them, see which features you like, which don't. And by the end, you want to know what they're doing good, what they're doing badly, what they're missing. You want to go to the reviews as well. You want to sort by lowest rating. And you see this one is actually really recent. And it says hidden subscription fees. So this is one point to improve upon, and also repeatedly asks to log in. So when I use LinkedIn formatter, I don't want all of that stuff. I just want to format my text, and that's all. When you're confident about your research, you've done your competitors' research, you've done your product market fit research, what you want to do is you want to understand how hard it would be to build. So for example, my extension is really simple. It just formats the text and that's all. User doesn't need to log in. And also economics of it. So if you will try to build the AI app like Walaxy, they are paying a lot of money for the tokens. And you will eventually want to make your products either paid or freemium or some other form of monetization. And in that, you want to include a margin for yourself. So it's much more easier on a simple tool such as mine than on some complicated suite. So don't overcomplicate stuff. When you're really confident with your research and the features you want to build, so when you looked at your competitors and you saw what you can improve upon. For example, in my case, it was a preview. I added the preview. I liked their counters, so I added the counters to my own. But I didn't like sidebars, for example. I don't want to log in. I don't need any draft. I want it to be as simple as possible. This is the prototype that I first initially have done. I want counters, font formatting, bullets, capitalization, uppercase, lowercase, preview for both devices, mobile and desktop. Not sure why LinkedIn haven't added it yet. Based on this prototype, I started building. So here was my first version of the product that I've done. So you see only the fonts formatting. Then I added the preview, which I wanted, pop up for the user settings, profile, level, and counters. After that, I added the static toolbar. So this was actually a user experience decision. You will not immediately have any text, right? So you will not be able to select any text. Thus, you will not be able to see the actual UI element for formatting your text, which may lead user to think that it's not working and just close my extension and uninstall it. So I decided to add the static toolbar to show that it's always there if you need it. Character, bulby, as in like when you're posting, you have an idea. Settings, or toggle the hover toolbar. Sometimes you want to toggle the static toolbar. Yeah, I also added the rating. The last one, here you see the rating here. When you're really confident, it shouldn't be perfect. It should do the core stuff that it's supposed to do. When you think that it's ready, it's time to prepare it for publishing in the Chrome Web Store. For this, you will also need two texts, a short description, so the one-liner that you see here, which has limit of like 132 characters, and the long description. And other than that, you also need graphics. If you search on a web store, you'll see small badges, right? You'll need to do one of those. You'll also need to do the large banner. It will show the features of your product, and you will need to do an icon. For the large banner, you need to basically show off the feature. So for me, it was formatting the text and comments. A small banner should also convey what your extension is doing, but in much smaller format and much simpler. So this is what I ended up doing. And also icon. So my idea was like, make sure user understand that it's related to the LinkedIn, right? And that it's related to formatting text. So this is kind of a bait that I did on LinkedIn. I'm hoping I will not get sued. Yeah, and also other idea for the small banner. In the extensions, there are lifecycle hooks for when user does something with your extension, like installs the extension, uninstalls the extension, and some other stuff. Those two are the most important ones. So when user installs your extension, you want to grab his attention straight away and make sure he does something with your extension right away, as fast as possible. So you might have seen when you're installing the extension, sometimes you get redirected to some other website. I highly recommend you do the same. You set up a website and you set up a install hook and uninstall hook. On install hook, you will be redirected to the welcome page on your website. For me, it looks like this. So it's super simple. It's nothing like, it's not really a website. It's even simpler than landing, as you see. So the only thing that it should do is make sure that user pins your extension so it doesn't get lost in dozens of other extensions. And you want to try to make user use it. So how I've done it is just simple screenshot with, you see that from the Chrome, all the elements that are irrelevant are removed, right? So super big, large button. The only button that I have here is go to your LinkedIn profile and create a post. So in the welcome page, you see that you need to create a post and you see the UI of my extension straight away. About uninstall hook, I can explain in another video. If it's something you want to see, please let me know in the comments. Also, I can explain how to come up with an idea that is somewhat product market fit validated, not just your browser history. So you have done your research, you have written down and coded your app, you have tested it yourself, have done some iterations on that, you have created the graphics, icons, banners, badges, and other stuff. What you want to do now is go ahead and publish it. So for the registration, they charge $5 fee for the Chrome developer accounts. So you'll need to pay that, and you'll need to fill out the long description, short description, some other forms which will ask you some security questions about your app, and also upload your graphics. You can also upload texts on other languages, which is also something you might want to do for optimization, and I can talk more about that in other video if it's something that is interesting. And what you want to do now, while your extension is pending the review, you want to play test. You want to play test it on your friends, family, relatives. Basically, user flow came from your mind, from your head. you know how it should behave. You know what user needs to do, and when you're using it yourself, you know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, right? When you will give this extension to your friends and relatives, after they click the add to Chrome button, instead of just reading few lines of text, they started like randomly clicking on stuff on the screenshot. You will need to stop the urge to correct or to answer the questions. You just need to write down all that is user doing, because it means that hundreds and thousands of other users will do the same. So you need to fix it. Okay, so now you have published your extension, you have tested it with your friends, you smoothed out the rough edges. It's pretty usable, right? So what you want to do now is marketing. So I have Google Ads campaign. Remember I told you that we will need a website for the welcome page and an install page. Here is actually a performance of my website on which the welcome page is hosted. As you can see, it didn't get any clicks. However, the more this website is out there, the higher trust for this website. This will also build a trust for this website in the Google's eyes. I will also need to add backlinks. I will also definitely do some video on backlinks. I launched the ad campaign with for the really cheap cost per click, which is needed just to get attraction for this extension. So I'm not really buying users. I don't have a metric of user acquisition. I only have the metric for clicks, as you can see. This is needed for basically get the users moving through my extension and to build the trust in the Chrome Web Store. There is also obviously Reddit, right? So product hunt, Reddit. I've done Reddit. It really helps if you already have the warmed up account on Reddit with high karma, which you use frequently, as this ensures that first you won't get banned, second that you will be able to post comments in the higher karma you have. You'll be allowed to comment on some subreddits which have filters for users who can comment, and you will not get blocked if your account is really old and has high karma. Let's come back to the point, why the Chrome extension? Why not the website, right? Because you see, for the website itself, even with the ad traffic for the extension and from the extension to the website, it's still not much. Why extension? Is because, again, building trust. Because when you're publishing something inside of the well-established platform, such as Chrome Web Store, such as GPT App Store, right? Just Apple App Store, Google Play Market, etc. So when you're publishing inside of the platform, the platform reputation is what helps to build the trust for your app. If you just build a website for this, I will not be able to compete with other websites which have been in use since, I don't know, 10 years ago, because of the trust. So which mistakes have I done on Reddit? I had a mistake where I entered the discussion about the feature of my extension, which I regret and I shouldn't have done, and I will not do it in the future. So yeah, you need to listen to your users and their feedback. Yes, so which subreddits I'm using? Indie hackers, job search hacks, micro SaaS, overemployed, people who are looking for a job, most probably are on LinkedIn, right? You can also use this website to subscribe for keywords on Reddit in comments and posts for finding relevant threads to promote or mention or ask an opinion about your app. And that's pretty much it. So if you liked this video, please leave a like. Leave in the comments which parts should I cover in more detail. Thanks for watching. If this video reaches realized in the end that I was recording vertically.